Imagine hopping on a Teams call just to say, "Nothing on my end from this desk." When you're finally feeling good about yourself and someone says, "You look tired." She keeps rubbing herself against the chair or sofa until she builds up a static charge and then runs over and shocks me. Why does she understand static electricity? How does she know to use it for evil? Me, trying to park in the shade on a hot day. Sun, lol, no. Just matched with my ex on Tinder. My boss is an utter queen. We've been dealing with this guy all week who keeps mansplaining everything to us. She led her last email to him with this and I lost it. Harry Potter fans forced a £430 million sea cable to be relocated in order to avoid the grave of Dobby on a Welsh beach. The power cable linking the UK and Ireland now passes near Bronze Age human burial remains instead of the fictional character's gravesite following complaints from fans. I don't always clear my calculator, but when I do, I hit both C and CE a bunch of times because I don't know exactly what they do. Study: Gen Z has become the first generation less intelligent than its predecessor, millennials. A millennial probably wrote this. They're idiots. Exhibit A. Interrupted a conversation between a man and his demons. I love this so much I can't explain. Just got the best photo back from our wedding. A dog ran over to me in the park and dropped a tennis ball at my feet. We played fetch for about 10 minutes before the owner shouted, "Mate, he lives here. You're going to be here all day if you keep throwing it." I've CC'd in my boss. Professional, corporate, mildly threatening. You want to say that in front of Greg? Confident. Threat level 9000. Who is Greg and what is he capable of? I've tasted long-term relationship, I've tasted casual dating. I highly recommend focusing on your career and going to sleep before 9 p.m. Conchas are fundamentally unserious creatures. My doctor always calling me young at 37 made more sense once I learned that my doctor is also 37. Told my 94-year-old grandmother that they make electric cars now and she said, "I don't need to hear about that kind of thing." And the Lord said, "Let there be a good boy." The hardest part of being you dumb and broke in your 20s is realizing you're 38. Yep, sips beer. Someone accidentally sent "love you" to the lads group chat instead of their mum. Not one person let it slide. He's still called babe 6 months later. What a time. When I type "be right back" but autocorrect changes it to "fret not, noble friend, for all shall vanish into the void for a fleeting moment and return triumphant like the dawn over yon mountains." Man arrested after dressing as Grim Reaper at hospital and staring at patients. The perfectly ripe summer tomato sandwich is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy. The 18-pound plant I carefully planted, fed and watered. The plant that grew out of a crack in the paving. Fun fact, To keep production costs low, many Star Trek scenes were actually filmed on Earth rather than on location in outer space. The single reason my generation is tougher than yours. One of my friends is notoriously bad at remembering the Virgin Media Wi-Fi password in our flat when people come over, so we celebrated her birthday by sticking it on her cake so she can finally stop asking us for it. Start the week off right. Here is a picture of a man that built a kayak that fits his 2 dogs. Today we visited Southend-on-Sea, but was shocked to see that beach was fully dry and with no water. But around 12 p.m. the water was raising up, and by 2 p.m. it was like normal beach. Does anyone know why the beach was fully drained in the morning? Just curious to know. Men will ruin your life and then use a picture you took of them as their profile picture. Shabby sheep cabinet. Shabby sheep cabinet for cheap despite the damage. X display, come and grab a bargain today. Message me for more details. It's weird how jobs don't want to see pictures of you partying on social media. If anything, they should be like, wow, she blacked out on Sunday and is still at work. Hire her, she's clearly dedicated. When I have no idea how to comfort my friends, but I try anyway. A woman was rude to me on the train today, so I googled the book she was reading and told her who the murderer is. If you're happy and you know it. My 68-year-old mother is helping my 94-year-old granny recover from an email hack. It's like watching a monkey play cards with a horse. Easily the most relatable email I've received. Woke up groggy from a nap on the aeroplane and earnestly tried to slide this forward with my finger. You know that thing in your mind that tells you when something is a bad idea? How do I get one of those? Them, how long ago did your OCD issues begin? Me. Our team last night in the pub quiz got every question wrong apart from, what color is an orange? We still argued over it for a minute thinking it was trick question. Archaeopteryx had 3 fingers on each wing and held its palms facing each other, implying it was capable of air quotes and therefore sarcasm. Got the sorry we missed you card through the door while I was sat in the living room 5 feet from the front door. The delivery driver must have thrown it like a ninja. Hello, we know you're single and over 40. Let us in. I got to the airport 3 hours early like they recommend, spent 2 hours and 55 minutes sitting at the gate eating a £9 sandwich and pretending it was completely normal. If you shave a tiger, it will still be stripy. Good to know. Also, it's unlikely I'll ever be shaving a tiger. Do all of my friends' shirts have these holes on the front? Does anyone know why? What's the reason? I just saw someone I knew from school in the supermarket. We both pretended we didn't see each other. A successful interaction all round, I'd say. Me, I'll go to bed early tonight and get a good 8 hours. Me at 3 a.m. I told myself I'd have a light breakfast at the hotel. Somehow, I walked back to the table with a full English, croissant, yogurt, fruit, pancakes, and a glass of orange juice. The best part, I still went back to see what they'd brought out next. When you're hungry and someone tries to be funny, Why do guys named Timothy go by Tim when they could go by Moth? I do think former party girls have an easier time with motherhood because it's like staying up till 3 a.m. then functioning like normal. No problem. Constantly overstimulated, don't even notice. Loud environments, love, weird men around, clocked instantly. Dancing, got that down too. My therapist asked me to explore my inner self. Since I started following the wisdom of ancient Chinese philosopher Fu-Yu, my life has been so much better. Wife horrified after husband gets tattoo of her snoring. This is the greed they spoke of in the Bible. Duolingo restored a 10-year-old's 300 one-day streak after he lost it while he was in hospital, also gifting him gems and a streak shield. When someone asked for the same treatment after losing their 4-day streak from being hungover, Duolingo responded, "Get off my page." If you take a social media sabbatical, don't announce it. Just make your last post something fun like, "I wonder if there's a bear in this cave." Not the pizza you need, but the pizza you deserve. I don't want to hear you can't afford to eat. When you go on Amazon and rate all the spray bottles 1 star. I just visited my nan and said, "I'll only be about 5 minutes. That was 4 hours ago, and I've had enough biscuits to last me the rest of the year." Bro, I baked the fucking desert. Love seeing animals exactly where they're supposed to be. The other mice are never gonna believe him. Take me back to the split second when I was convinced this was meant to be a frame for a photo of a great meal. Babies are like avocados. It's like, not tired enough, not tired enough, not tired enough. 72-second window where they're the perfect amount of tired, now they're overtired. I wonder what the part of my brain that used to store people's phone numbers is doing now. I got on the train, found a seat, put my headphones in, and settled down. 5 minutes later, the announcement said, "This service is to Aberdeen." I was trying to get to Brighton. You already have the body of your last 1,000 meals, the mind of your last 1,000 conversations, and the bank account of your last 1,000 decisions. Nothing about your current situation is a mystery. It's a receipt. My summer plans. There's like maybe a maximum of 8 jobs where I understand what the job is. Shopkeeper, farmer, teacher of some kind, priest, novelist, journalist, private detective, chef. That's it. What is a data engineer? I don't know. Pressed the button at a pedestrian crossing, waited patiently, then crossed anyway because there wasn't a single car. 2 seconds later, the green man came on. Cheers for that. A time lapse of British roadworks. Intellectually, I understand, but emotionally, I am never prepared to wake up to a child holding a bloody tooth in his hand. What do you mean it fell out of your face and now you want to sell it to a fairy? At 33, I'm like an old phone battery. Even when you charge me overnight for 10 hours, by 10 a.m. I'm at 60%. Sick to death of that nosy cow next door. That awkward moment when you've already said, what, 3 times and still have no idea what the person said, so you just agree. Really busy day today. I watched one 5-minute YouTube video and became convinced I could fit a shelf myself. 3 trips to B&Q, 4 new holes in the wall, and 1 argument later, the shelf is somehow leaning downhill. Me looking for any excuse not to go out with this guy. I just told myself I'd only watch 1 episode of a new show, maybe max 2. It's somehow 8 p.m. on Sunday now. I've accidentally watched an entire season and don't want to work tomorrow. I absolutely hate when I get to the self-checkout and magically I've picked the only one that needed a member of staff. You can't have a bad day at work if you don't go. I just spent 10 minutes inspecting a cafe menu outside before walking in, sat down and looked at the menu again to confirm what I read outside. Wow, an arrow. So original. If we found out reincarnation was real and had a way to verifiably track who a reincarnated person was in a previous life, how long would it take for companies to make sure you inherited debt from your previous lives? You spend 6 months counting down to your holiday, then spend the first 3 days saying, "It's too hot, isn't it?" If you get married to your current partner, who will solve this for your kids? Someone brought in birthday cake and suddenly people I'd never seen leave their desks appeared from every corner of the office. No one knows where they come from, they can just sense free food. Guy who invented the clock, there will be 12 numbers on it. Friend, so the day will be divided into 12 segments? No, 24. So will the day start at 1? The day will start at the 12, which is at night. The 6 means 30. This option should be available everywhere. I was offered a random day off due to an overstaffing mistake and took it. I decided to have fun with the pets. I got all ready for work like I normally would and they did their usual job of trying to persuade me not to go and I made a dramatic show of letting them win. They've been on a happiness high for the past 3 hours. I hate it when you see a sign and suddenly your plans are ruined. It's so hot today, I just saw a bird blow on a worm before it ate it. Woke up super early and texted my boyfriend while half asleep. What the fuck was I on? And no, I don't know how this would benefit the poor, but at least I tried. I just opened a group chat with 100 unread messages and immediately closed it again. I don't think I'm ready for that level of commitment just yet. Joined the gym on Monday, spent Tuesday telling everyone I joined the gym, didn't actually go back until the following Monday. When your job asks for suggestions to make the workplace better, my satellite navigation said, "You have reached your destination." I was in the middle of a dual carriageway. Cheers, Google. I have a weird obsession with checking the tracking on my parcel multiple times a day as if refreshing it will make the van drive faster. When you're bad at making decisions and someone says, "It's up to you," I bring a silly goose vibe to the timeline that the serious geese don't appreciate. Do companies really verify your degree, or can you just Photoshop one and start applying for jobs? Learned the hard way that background checks are no joke when HR actually called my old university while I was sitting right across from them sweating bullets. Me trying to fix a problem in my life. Kids these days don't know how good they have it with lyric sites. We used to have to sing songs wrong for years until the truth destroyed us. Someone liked a ton of my tweets at once and their account has 0 followers and was just made, and I thought, this must be a bot. Then I looked closer. It's my dad. This is who you're trying to make 9 p.m. plans with. At work, I say, on it, way too often for someone who is not, in fact, on it. The most perfect driving instructor name doesn't exist. The hard part about being a bartender is figuring out who is drunk and who is just stupid. I used to think it was impossible to keep my house clean because it was too small, but then we moved into a bigger place and you are not going to believe this. Noah's Ark all solid wood, post the animals. Two things to make your day better. 1. Do not watch the news. 2. Stay off the bathroom scales. Nothing makes you feel more British than hearing your neighbor put their wheelie bin out and immediately running outside in your slippers because you forgot it was bin day. I just said cheers mate to the self-checkout. After it thanked me. I hope AI will be kind to me in the future. Booker loves staring at ice cubes. He doesn't lick them or touch them. He just stares and purrs. I just realized the weekend can basically be 2 Saturdays if you don't think about Sunday after 5 p.m. My mum bought an air fryer and now acts like she invented electricity. Every meal starts with, bet your oven can't do this. When you think you've had it rough, remember this guy. I just opened the fridge about 10 times hoping a proper dinner would magically appear. Ended up eating toast and saying, it's just a light tea for tonight. I get awkward when someone compliments me and I don't know what to say. Someone, you look pretty. Me, happy birthday. The morning dew perfectly captured my dog's erratic freedom run. Noom. It's Saturday night, and I've just spent longer deciding what takeaway to order than how long it will actually take to arrive. Nice one. I just put fresh sheets on the bed. For the next few minutes, I genuinely believe I got my life back together again. Me and my best friend laughing at the most stupid things for no reason. I just found my old portable stereo in the garage. Does anyone have 22D batteries I can borrow? I just paid for parking and I'm walking back to my car worrying I'd accidentally typed the wrong registration and paid for someone else. Male mice sing ultrasonic love songs to attract females, but humans can't hear them. I just held the door open for someone who was at least 10 meters away and had to watch them awkwardly speed walk. I felt like I pressured them into hurrying up. Not sure if retailers know this, but there is a whole demographic of women who still want the bottom half of the shirt. I'm coming over, you better not be smug dog biscuit. Me. I spend all week dreaming about the weekend, then spend the entire weekend asking myself, what shall I do today? Until it's suddenly Sunday night and I've done nothing all weekend. When you're at work trying to figure out how to get sent home, without being fired and still get paid. Life is so boring when you don't have any parcels on the way. When you've already typed something twice and your phone autocorrects it again. Manager, we trust our employees. Also managers all day. Every Monday, I tell myself I'll bring my own lunch all week. By Monday lunchtime, I'm already standing in the supermarket with a meal deal and my bank account's crying. When everyone's boasting about their kids' achievements at the family function and your mum looks at you. One thing about me is I will find out. I'm a find-outologist. I've got my PhD in find-outology. Just wash my cow, tell her she's cute. Good hygiene is important when preparing your meal. I just remembered I was supposed to defrost something for dinner this morning. It might have to be beans on toast tonight. I'd make a swear jar, but I don't have the kind of income to keep up with my mouth. My cat listening to verse 35 of the song I made about him. Cats have excellent night vision. I've just realized if they step on your face in the middle of the night, it's a decision. I've just spent over £15 for a sandwich and a coffee because it's the weekend. Apparently my weekends come with different financial rules. Friends, are we going out tonight? Me at 7 p.m. I just told myself I'd only have one biscuit with my Sunday cuppa. The packet's now suspiciously light. I'm out right now, and I just checked my bank account before buying a coffee, closed the app, decided I need to start making them at home instead. Let's see how long that lasts. Sometimes I spoil myself. I paid for the deluxe car wash because I wanted to treat myself. It rained before I'd even driven out of the petrol station. Money well spent. I just visited my mum and she refuses to throw away a box just in case she needs it one day. She's had it for over 10 years. How I feel at the pool. How I actually look at the pool. I've realized that Monday mornings are just 95% people saying, I can't believe it's Monday already. It's crazy. Some of you spend thousands on shoes, but your pillowcase looks like a tea bag. I recently started a diet half an egg in the morning, half an apple in the afternoon, and half the fridge in the evening. I just left the supermarket convinced I'd forgotten something, but I won't know what until I need it. If you're wrong and you shut up, you're wise. If you're right and you shut up, you're married. At this point, I bet aliens fly past Earth and lock their doors. It's my wife's birthday tomorrow. She's been leaving jewelry catalogs all over the house, so I've bought her a magazine rack. Every bad thing that happens today is a direct result of choosing to get out of bed. Me after finishing a load of washing that I'm going to let sit in the tumble dryer for a week. I just stood in front of the microwave watching the timer instead of doing literally anything else. Proper chef. Nobody. Little kids, I'm almost as tall as you. Me, shut up. How it feels to use Windows 7 on your office's 12-year-old computer. Me, will you please bring your cup to the sink? Kid, why do I always have to do everything? I just walk past my neighbor and every time we see each other, we somehow end up discussing the weather for 10 minutes. Every time. When you're sneaking around at 2 a.m. and you stub your toe. I just spent my Sunday morning cleaning the whole house and made a cup of tea to celebrate one of the most productive days of my life. Person giving me directions, you can't miss it. Me, want to bet? Anti-bucket list, what's something you'll never do again? True friendship is allowing a certain level of ghosting to go unmentioned. Airbnb should provide breakfast, that's the second. B. Scientists have created the world's first dinosaur leather handbag by growing T-Rex collagen in a lab. I'm sorry, but I thought we moved past that. T-Rex handbags are so 2 million BC. I'm just not sure how my child will survive back at school without 6 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and 367 snacks day. One part of adulthood no one prepares you for is how impossible it is to find the perfect pillow. What are your plans this weekend? Me. Therapist, you're a nice person. Friends, you're a nice person. Family, you're a nice person. Me, yeah, but what if I'm actually shit? Me, oh fuck, I trick so many people into thinking I'm nice, that's just how shit I am. This post is very loud. I'm sorry to hear that you broke up with your tall, handsome, intelligent boyfriend. Perhaps a short, ugly moron is exactly what you need during this time. So, a while back, I was using clicker training to teach my cat Taz tricks. She learned very quickly and it was a good experience all round, but we had to hide the clicker. Taz had learned that the clicker meant she got treats. So she would find it, carry it up to people, step on it to make it click, and then scream at them to give her the treats she was clearly owed because the clicker had made a sound. I left my job because my boss said they just couldn't justify paying me what I was asking. 6 months later, he texted asking if I'd come back for the exact salary I wanted. Funny how the budget appeared after replacing me cost even more. My granddad spent 3 hours cooking a Sunday roast. We finished eating in about 15 minutes. He looked around at the empty plates and said, "Well, I suppose that's a good sign," then immediately started planning next week's one.